Shello fishes, this is Mermaid Myra here with a behind the scenes how-to video of how I put together my Mersona for Mermaidazzle's fashion show live event. Today we have a speed run on how to prep for, style, and put on a lace front acrylic wig. I will also be doing one on my ear prosthetics later. We're not going to go super deep into the nitty-gritty of wigs, but I'll definitely be sharing some of my best tips and tricks as well as what products I use. To start, the prep for both the wig and the prosthetics is the same. You need clean skin and all your hair out of the way because let me tell you, getting your hair stuck in adhesive, not fun. But before anything else, we wash our hands. Not just for touching our face, but also oils from your skin will interfere with bonding of adhesive. Wash your hands, wash your face, and then I like to put on some moisturizer quickly to prep my skin for the makeup later. Now we start prepping hair. Stylists tell me day-old hair has better grip than fresh hair, so I brush and use water to get it nice and flat. Proper wig prep technique is pin curls. YouTube it. I have neither the patience or skill to do pin curls. I prefer a quick and dirty alternative. Got to Be Glued is a great brand for wigs. More on that later. And for getting baby hairs slicked down. Stray baby hairs will peek out from under your wig, get stuck in the adhesive, and get ripped out when taking it off. Got to Be Glued is overkill for the rest of our hair, so I use Rusk flexible styling cream distributed through my hair to give my hair more hold. Again, slippery clean hair is counterproductive here. We need a solid base to anchor the wig to. And my pin curl alternative, an upside down flippy tail. It leaves a lump at the base of the skull, but most wig styles will hide this pretty well. It's unnoticeable in my big fluffy wigs, and here I was going for a low bun style anyway. This won't work for any mer with longer hair than mine. French crown braids are supposed to be a good alternative to pin curls, but I can't French braid my own hair, so I can't help you there. Now the wig cap and trying to get our hair as flat and even as possible. I do not recommend the nude colored closed top hose cap here. You can see me struggling to get all my baby hairs tucked nicely despite all the prep work. Open top wouldn't do that. Fishnet caps provide better grip and are much more effective for the secret weapon I'll reveal shortly. Nude should only be used for light-colored wigs. Match the cap as much as possible to your wig color, not your skin or hair color, so that gaps in the wefts are less obvious. Some bobby pins to hold everything in place, crisscrossing to stop slipping, and it's time for the secret weapon, the velvet wig band. My fishes, I actually forgot to put any bobby pins in my wig after I put it on this time, and it didn't even matter. The properties of velvet grip onto your hair and the wig cap on the bottom and the underside of the wig on the top and keep it from sliding back, and it works underwater. You can buy them for just a couple sand dollars almost anywhere online. They're easy to find, and I promise it revolutionizes how you wear wigs. Onto the adhesive. Rubbing alcohol is a must for skin adhesives. Even better is the specific remover for what you're using. Don't make the mistake I did of realizing you don't have remover after you've glued something to your skin. As mentioned, the oils in your skin can reduce the bonding of adhesives, so going over all relevant areas with alcohol first provides the best surface. A quick aside on wig heads. I recommend you invest in a proper, non-styrofoam head that matches your head size. These ones are cheap trash and it shows. One looks a little nicer, but it's much thinner than my head and causes fit issues if I do braid styles on it. Definitely ensure there's a hole in the bottom of any potential head so that you can mount it. 2 hands are best for brushing and styling a wig, so it needs to be secured, and longer wigs need height that taping the head to a table doesn't provide. I have a broom handle that I twist tied to a stepladder, and that works okay. A tripod is a common solution, but a proper wig stand is ideal. Securely pin the wig to the head so that it holds the right shape while styling. Use dressmaker's pins with large rounded heads to prevent them from slipping through the lace and wefts, or worse, damaging them. Finally, onto the wig itself. If you have human hair wigs, disregard everything I say from this point and consult a hairstylist. But for acrylic wigs, I cannot stress this enough. Abandon everything you know about hair care. Human hair products are designed to work with the proteins in your hair. Many have oils that will degrade and damage acrylic fibers. Mane and Tail Detangler is actually a horse product. It works well on wigs because it's silicone-based rather than oil-based. Fabric softener and defrizzing can save a really tangled wig, but that's beyond the scope of this quick overview. Detangling is long and tedious, but you can't rush it. Yanking on a knot will bend the acrylic fibers into the shape of the knot or stretch the fibers until they form spirals that will cause exponentially more knots. Don't use normal brushes or combs. Wig brushes are specifically designed to let go of tangles to prevent this damage. Wig combs exist, but they're basically expensive, fancy shower combs. The absolute best detangling tool, however, is your fingers. Separate the wig into small sections. The smaller the better. Start at the bottom and work your way up slowly. When you encounter a snarl, the best advice I've ever heard: with one hand, separate the hair into 2 parts above the knot, and with the other hand, pinch the hair below the knot and tug down gently. I filmed this part with normal video instead of time-lapse so you could see exactly what I'm doing. It was taking forever just to detangle one section, and I was running out of time. So I gave up on detangling and instead used the tangled section to make a big poofy bun and let the untangled section be a smooth side piece. Full disclosure, when it comes to braids and updos like this, I'm basically just winging it. Product side note, hairspray works on protein and doesn't work well on acrylic wigs. Got to be Glued is the best hairspray for acrylic wigs because it is literally glue. Use a bit to tame stray hairs and stabilize a loose style. Use excessive amounts to turn your tight, complicated style hard and unmoving. It will wash out if necessary. Wigs get very tangled underwater, and the advice big-time professional gigmers like Raina have given me are to have 2 separate wigs for wet and dry gigs, and not bother detangling the wet wig. Tangles are unnoticeable the moment it gets wet. This is excellent advice, but as I currently have just one of these, what I've done to keep it neat is French braid the front hairline and separate out smaller front sections that I plan to make a Norse-inspired braided style. I swam in this wig about 5 times prior to this, but the front of the wig is nice and doesn't need attention. Getting it on is easier with someone helping pull the back out and down as you hold the front in place, but it's still doable alone. Make sure you check you're holding it by the earpieces and you don't put it on crooked. If your wig didn't already come with combs sewn into the back, sides, and front, I definitely recommend you add them. I use Prozade as the adhesive here. Do not do this. It is great for prosthetics, but should never be used for lace front wigs. Prozade is a medical-grade adhesive that is flexible and gummy when it cures, as opposed to spirit gum, which cures hard and brittle. Prozade is much stronger and more comfortable than spirit gum, but it quickly builds up into a thick, gummy residue in the lace of wigs and doesn't come out easily, which will shorten the life of your unit. Do as I say, not as I do. Personally, I am wary of using the wig glues found in beauty stores because they are intended for wig users who wear their wigs for days at a time. I also dislike wig tape by itself because the lace on all my wigs always creates a noticeable shadow underneath without adhesives. Spirit gum is a good choice, but when using it underwater, the side lace above my ears almost always comes up, which is why I switched to Prozade before learning I shouldn't have. Mermaid Shannon from the Circus Siren Pod advised me that BMB Super Lace Glue is her product of choice. An oil base such as baby oil is required to remove this. Rubbing alcohol won't work. Once the wig and prosthetics are on, we can go to town with fancy makeup, and then we're done. Thank you for joining me with this behind-the-scenes speed run through Wig Technique. I definitely skimmed over a lot of things, so if you have any questions at all, feel free to ask in the comments. I will also likely do more in-depth videos in the future, so let me know what you're most interested in. And as mentioned, this is all simply my personal techniques. There are definitely other and better ways to do a lot of this. Do you have any suggestions for improvements? Make sure to enlighten us. Until next time, my fishes, and just remember, more is more. Overdo it.